Let the vengeance begin!
Howdy, howdy, Sue Devil here, and welcome to my first game in our test match with me versus JanetOnOccasion. And in this first game, we're going to be playing the Dwarfs up against Chaos. It's a bit of a tough matchup, but, we're going to do our best to get going. In this matchup, I have two units of cannons, one on each side. I'm deployed very, very wide, and with each of these units of cannons, I do have a pair of dwarf warriors, and they're just going to sit in the back to help protect those cannons from getting tromped on from any rear flankers. In my front line, I have a very unique engagement. I think we've got dwarf warriors, and right behind them we have rangers with great weapons. So they're just going to throw into whatever comes into my front line, and hopefully these as a unit, as a pair, can do well against the whatever he brings in his front line. Now on my edges I have two units of longbeards with great weapons, and I also have on this side a rune lord with that rune of wrath and ruin and the locust of power just for the 15% magic resistance. And I've also got a runesmith on this side, and of course he has the rune of wrath and ruin and the hammer of Karak draws for that minus 25% weapon damage and minus 44 melee attack for 50 seconds, the hex. And in my backline, I do have the Dragonback Slayers, and I also have the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. So my cannons are already shooting in, my Rangers are already shooting in. For his line, he's got a dragon. The Chaos Sorcerer with fire, and for his loadout, he's got the Sword of Anti-Heroes, the Arcane Conduit, Piercing Bolts of Burning, the Cascading Fire Cloak, and the Dark Fire of Chaos. And he's also got Kindle Flame for weakness to fire, and he's got Evasion, and he causes fear and terror. And on this flank, he's got some Chaos Chariots with some Chaos Warhounds. That's going to be a problem for his main line, heavy hitters. He's got Chaos Warriors with great weapons, 6 units of those just come into my front line and go to town. He's also got some Chaos Chariots, and here some Chaos Warhounds with poison, again to try and muck up my back line. And he does have a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. So without further ado, we're going to get this going. I don't know what to do with the dragon. I'm going to just try and bring over my Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and I am going to try and bring my Dragonback Slayers to this side to try and at least get ready to deal with the dragon. So I see him landing, and we're going to send some units in to try and at least hold back these Chaos Warhounds and the Chaos Chariots. And you can see we're getting ready to shoot with these Rangers with great weapons. They're going to do a ton of damage. And you can see they're just pulling these guys down. I'm just going to take the charge with my Dwarf Warriors. I want to use these guys to try and just absolutely murder these guys as fast as I can. I've got my cannons shooting. He's already got his Dragon Ogre Shaggoth up here against my Runesmith. I'm going to try and shoot him in, but boy, these Chaos Chariots are in fast. I've got them kind of plugged up with my Longbeards. I'm going to try and keep my cannons shooting, and these Rangers are just not going to be able to hold up to these Chaos Warhounds. He's going to try and drop a spell on me. I'm going to see it and try and dodge, but I'm just not going to have enough time. You see, I'm sorry, move out of the way. No, not enough time, so he's just going to start murdering my Rangers with great weapons. He's already through with these Chaos Warriors, and he's just absolutely buckled these Dwarf Warriors, and he's killing my Runesmith. There's not much I can do. I do have my Dwarf Warriors in here helping to protect my cannons. I want to keep them online. On this side, I have been able to rout this Chaos Chariot, and I have been able to bring these guys to their leadership down. And I'm going to get my cannon crew. I got to try and get them back onto their cannons so they can get shooting. This freaking dragon is just going roughshod through my line. I do have the Dragonback Slayers on him. I am trying to come back and at least do some damage to him. I've got these Rangers with great weapons. They're going to start trying to shoot, but he's already buckled my line with these Chaos Warriors. It is not looking good on this flank. I've already got my Rangers have gone to this side, but I'm going to be able to start getting shots back in. They're going to redeploy. They're going to start shooting, and we can start shooting at that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. I don't know. There I go. I give them orders to start shooting. They're just going to turn right around, start getting shots right into that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. He doesn't have a whole lot of armor, only 70 armor, so we're going to get some work done. My cannons are still online. These Dwarf Warriors are holding, but he's got a massive breath right into my Slayers. And this is I do not want this fight with these guys. I want to get my Warriors of Dragonfire Pass in here. I want to get my Dragonback Slayers out, my Warriors in, and I want to try and get rid of these Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I've got my Dwarf Warriors here, and he's kind of mucked everything up on this side, so I can't really do much of anything. I'm going to bring some of these units back. I do see this, and I've got my cannons. They're just running away. I just want to get them away, and hopefully he'll get bored of beating on my dwarf warriors, and he'll let me get back on my cannons. So I've got over here these longbeards with great weapons are holding, but boy, this is going to start changing fast when this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth gets back here. He's just going to come in with his dragon and get onto these rangers. I do want to try and bring back my dwarf warriors to try and do something, and I'm going to try and sneak these guys back on their cannons. You know, just try and juke them, get these guys back on their cannons, and get them shooting again. On this side, it's not going as bad, but I'm still buckling. Like, I'm starting to get rid of these guys. Got the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin on these guys. I've got my Runesmith in there, my Rune Lord. I've got my Dwarf Warriors. I have my Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Okay, that's a little bit better. I've got my Dragonback Slayers just pushing these guys off. So I'm doing a little bit better on this side. I've got these guys coming back in. Unfortunately, he did notice my cannons coming in. I just wouldn't let him come. So he's starting to really buckle this side of my line. Not much I can do over there, but I can still do something over here. So I'm just trying to push in, get those Chaos Chariots out. I've got my Dragonback Slayers in. I've got my Warriors of Dragonfire Pass in, my Lord in, and I'm going to get my Dwarf Warriors in and just try and push them off, and at least try and win this part of the battle. And you can see my guys are rallying here. I'm going to try to be very sneaky, very patient, but there's not much. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about my dwarven patience at all. He's just going to come after these guys and try and wreck them all, unfortunately. So I'm going to come back in this way, and he's got some magic going down. I have managed to buckle these Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and I'm getting back onto this dragon. You know, like he's getting a lot of damage done to him. You know, he can't move so super fast. But I just changed my orders. I want to kill this chariot. These chariots are just demolishing me. So I want to get in there with my Dragonback Slayers, my Dwarf Warriors, my Rune Lord, and my Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and at least try and kill that chariot. And we'll come back in here with these Dwarf Warriors. I want to try and meet up and link up. Now these guys are all rallying. Okay, so here we go. They're all rallied. I'm gonna just try and sneak them in. I still have my cannon crew. I want to get them over to this cannon. And no. Janet. He just sees it. Like, unfortunate. So I'm gonna just move my cannon. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not gonna let you kill my cannon crew. Hopefully you're gonna kill these guys. I get it, but at least I want to fight. So I'm gonna get everyone back in here, collapsing in here, trying to kill that Chaos Chariot, trying to do something against that Chaos Sorcerer, just charging in like he's gonna terror out my Dwarf Warriors, but I want to get at least a little damage in. He's getting low, but here comes that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, and he is gonna start going hard. I got the Dragonback Slayers in here. I've got a few of them, not very many, but unfortunately this Chaos Warriors with great weapons won't rout. I have managed to rout that Chaos Chariot, so I'm at least getting them pushed out. If I can get some hard damage done to that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth fast, maybe I can rout him. I do have some units that are kind of scattered around. These guys might be able to come back. These guys, well, no, there they go. They're not coming back. Unfortunately, there we go. Everyone starts to rout, and just to get rid of the Slayers, he uses that Dragon Breath. We got one brave Slayer here, two brave Slayers here, ready to fight. Well, that one's now down to one. He's cut in half completely, and my one last brave Slayer has lost his head, but he still, at least, has one last axe swing. So great fun fight. You know, I had my cannons going off in the very beginning, but he shut them down. I wanted to get these Rangers going, just couldn't handle. My line absolutely buckled. Dragonback Slayers did good, 56. 32 with the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass aren't too bad, and he just absolutely murdered my Runesmith with that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Holy crap, was he good. And these Chaos Warriors with great weapons are such good infantry. You know, 96, 81, 97, 48, 107, 56. Now, yeah, they weren't facing off against my best infantry, like I never had any hammers or anything, but 154 with that Chaos Sorcerer, that's crazy. And here's these other units. These are just these really tough to deal with units. I did manage to deal with the one Chaos Chariot. I got one of my cannons on it early, but these Chaos Warhounds, 34 and 17, they are worth so much more than the kills they get because they're so disruptive. And this Chaos Chariot with 54 was absolutely fantastic unit. You know, I tried to go very wide in this matchup. I really wanted to keep my cannons singing, but having that he had one chariot and one warhound on each side, and then he had the dragon ogre Shaggoth on it, one side with the dragon itself on the other, and just shut down those cannons. Unfortunately, they didn't get to go to work, and I didn't have enough time to really deal with these Chaos Warriors. There were just too many. I mean, I got a few of them off, but they were just too powerful for my front line, unfortunately. But great fun match, first match and many to come. I hope you guys found it interesting. Love to hear some comments down below on what you thought of the build. You know, it's a kind of a different build with the Rune Lord and the Rune Smith. Very light infantry and heavy on the Rangers with great weapons. Now, these Rangers with great weapons, if they're allowed to go to work, they're crushing. Like, they can do a ton of damage, but I wasn't able to keep them firing long enough, and these Rangers, regular Rangers, just got absolutely crushed. Like, normally I like to bring Bugman's Rangers, but I tried to go a little wider in this build, bring some artillery, you know, have a little fun with it. And I do know these Rangers with the great weapons, they can do a ton of damage against the Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and even Chosen they can do a ton of damage. But these Chaos Chariots and the Warhounds, and this Dragon over Shaggoth was fantastic, was really, really strong, and the Dragon was really strong, like a very, very good army setup for this fight. So hope you found it interesting. Love to hear some comments down below, what you thought of the build, what you thought of the Chaos build, and you know, I love hearing comments. You know, I think that's one of my favorite parts about doing this is getting to hear from you guys on the builds, especially if you have experience playing the Dwarfs against Chaos. I mean, it's a really rough matchup for the Dwarfs, for sure. Chaos has an advantage in it, but that doesn't mean you can't win. Like, you can still play better, improve your armies, get, you know, a better army on the field, play and play to your best, and it is winnable. You know, it is a match that the Dawi can win. So, love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you soon.